Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to today's webinar, Becoming Miraculous, Living the Life of Your Dreams. My name is Renée Morris. I'm very, very excited to be your host today. Now, as people are joining, I invite you to post your location in the chat. As with every webinar, I love to see all the corners of the globe that people are chiming in, tuning in from, and who are interested in quantum touch. I'm located in Ottawa, Canada. So hello to everyone from Canada and hello to everyone from Ottawa. Thank you for being here today. We have a wonderful webinar set up for you today with our guest speaker, Karina Grant. Now, for those of you who are new to Quantum Touch or who have not met me before, my name is Renée Morris. I'm a certified Quantum Touch practitioner, certified instructor, Quantum Touch ambassador. I also work with the head office. I'm thrilled to be your host to guide you through this webinar today with our exciting guest. And let's just see where people are tuning in from today. From the UK, from Sweden, from the United States. Amazing, from Scotland. Nadia says, I love Quantum Touch. From Vancouver Island. Beautiful. All over the place. So on that note, I am thrilled to introduce to you today our featured guest, who is Karina Grant. She is a very experienced quantum touch teacher who discovered quantum touch in 2005. Her story is incredible. She was looking for ways to help her father who had Parkinson's. And so she learned the foundational techniques of quantum touch. And after just one quantum touch session, her father's posture straightened up completely. And after that incredible experience, she fast-tracked her way into becoming a practitioner and instructor. And now she's been with Quantum Touch for over 20 years. She teaches Quantum Touch levels 1 through 5 and has students all over the world. She teaches to audiences big and small. She's also familiar and a master of many healing modalities, but she loves quantum touch, and hopefully she'll share with us a little bit about why she loves quantum touch so much. And I saw on her website that she mentions that energy healing is, in her opinion, the fastest way to facilitate recovery and wellness. So when we talk about energy healing, we're talking about a powerful set of tools for well-being, for health, for better living. And the techniques that you're going to learn about today are a little kind of taste test, a little brownie sampler from the workshop Becoming Miraculous, which is our level 5 workshop. So Karina's going to talk to us about some of these techniques. You're going to have an incredible experience of these techniques also, so you'll be able to feel them for yourself. In Quantum Touch, we focus a lot about the experience of energy, feeling the energy, changing our state of being. Karina's going to talk to us about that today. And with no further ado, I'd love to introduce to you Karina Grant. Karina, welcome. So thrilled to have you here and to host this session. I've been a student of Karina's before. She is a phenomenal instructor, and you're in for a treat today. So welcome, Karina.
Wow, Renee, thank you. Well, welcome. Thanks so much. And it is wonderful to all be together. And I'm seeing lots of names and faces that I haven't seen for a while, and some people who I have seen, in the last year. It's amazing. I'm very excited. It really, really is a special call already. I Renee's given you a little bit of background how I got into quantum touch. It was 2005, and I can honestly say I've used quantum touch every single day since the day I learned it. It is one of those things that you start off learning it in order to help your own healing abilities, to help a loved one, or to help yourself. And actually, what I realized early on is this is more than a healing session. This is more than a 1 hour once a week situation. This is a way of being. This is a way of engaging with life. And the reason why this particular workshop excites me so much, the level 5, is because it is that. It is it is a way of approaching life that is so transformative and excites me so much that, I just, the minute I learned it, I was like, okay, yeah, this, I want to teach it every single day, to the point where after a couple of workshops that I taught, I said, well, let's set up a Becoming Miraculous club. I don't ever want to leave. I don't want to leave the club. And so we would meet up every week for quite a few weeks, a few of us, and just, sit in the energy and just be in it, because it is just so spectacular a feeling. And so today, hopefully, what we're going to do together is taste it, get a little flavor of what that feels like and why it's so special. And of course, when we do that together, it's magnified and it's even more beautiful. So, but before we do, I think it would be quite helpful and amazing to know. I can see already, thank you for having your cameras on, because it just creates more, more synergy. But I can see, I know some of you, and I know some people have taken level 1 before, but it'd be really helpful just to write in the chat if you have taken what classes you've taken, just so I can have a really quick scan and see if this is brand new information, or if, where we are on a general collective knowledge of quantum touch.
That's a great
Okay.
idea, Karina. I imagine that there's probably many people who are brand new to quantum touch or maybe haven't taken the level 1 also. So if everybody could write in the chat and let us know, that would be fantastic.
Okay. If you haven't, just write new. Okay, so a lot of people have taken, and so nice to see so many names here. Okay, I'm getting the idea that there's a lot of people that have taken level 1. Okay, so I have only seen a couple of people say they haven't taken the workshops. So I'm going to just assume lots of people know level 1. So let's have a hands-on body sweep. And if you are brand new to quantum touch, that's totally fine. If you see people doing the sweep and you want to join in, join in. And if you want to just sit in the energy and receive it just by being in this lovely collective bubble, that's fine as well. Let's start off by getting some coherence and, starting the energy off on the same kind of vibe. So you can just go down to your feet and let's have a lovely coming back to the body. And we'll do it again. Feel free to be very, very generous with your sweep. Take your time. Okay. I'm gonna ask, somebody said they can hear me twice. Is the sound okay for most people? Can everybody hear me okay? All right, good. Okay. Okay, so now let's just do a few 4-4 breaths just to get ourselves in the rhythm. So bringing your attention down to your feet, just simply becoming aware that we have feet, sensing the earth beneath us, and bringing your attention up through your legs, through your whole body, all the way up to the crown. And without any pause, we're going to bring our attention. Excuse my hands. I talk a lot with my hands. You don't have to do this. Bring your attention down through your head, your shoulders, your arms, your hands. And we're just going to take a moment to become present, connect with the body. So the direction of the energy is feet to crown on the inhale. And on the exhale, it's from the crown down through the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Let go into it. Relax into it. And let's bring to mind something that we all love, what's often referred to as the Julius technique. Something easy. It might be an animal that you absolutely love. It could be a nature spot. It could be a laughing baby. And let's move that loving feeling through the body into the field, into your energy field. You can even direct that energy to each other and to everybody listening to the replay. It's going to make a difference to the call. Let's unify that loving energy to each other. Let's share it. Let's soften it a little more. We've got a really nice level of coherence starting to come together. We're a lot of people. There's a lot of energy. And as we do that, if you would like to join me in the intention of this call aligning to its highest timeline for the highest good, and those of you that want to keep running energy through the call, by all means do so, in a nice, relaxed kind of backseat way. Or you can just simply listen and enjoy. So the subject of today's call is becoming miraculous. And Renee's already kind of given a bit of background about how I got into quantum touch. So I'm not going to go over it again because some of the material of today I just feel is too juicy and we should just, get into it. But essentially, yeah, quantum touch is a huge part of my life. I found it in 2005 and I've never looked back. It is a really, really wonderful modality that is very much what I would call timeless. It is timeless principles, yet is futuristic in what we can, what we can do and what we're discovering that we can do with it. And becoming miraculous as a workshop, when I first learned it, I was like, my whole system just went, yeah, this. And the reason is because, like many of us on this call, I follow various spiritual practices and I have a big worldview. That's one of the things I can say is my fuel and my engine is a spiritually big worldview where I truly believe that we live in a universe that wants us to be well and supports us and is holding a space for that, where there is infinite possibilities and, all these exciting concepts and principles. And the Becoming Miraculous workshop literally takes all of that and teaches techniques to access that. And that is unusual. It's unusual because we can talk about things a lot in an intellectual way and we can even feel things spiritually. We can know that certain things exist. We can have a feeling of energy and we can have a feeling of spirituality and all these huge concepts. But when you've got techniques that literally create a pathway and a roadmap to experience them in a very embodied way, to have a direct experience of those principles, I think that's very exciting. And that's what this workshop does. And so it allows us to access miraculous states in very simplistic ways with specific techniques. And that is literally what the workshop is. And so, unlike the other workshops where there's hands-on healing, or if you're learning in a Zoom workshop, there's distance healing and we go out into breakout rooms. This is a workshop of self-care. This is a workshop of processes where we explore ourselves in really unique ways. So that's why I split this one up into I love it that it's split up into four chunks because there's processing time. And I very rarely have few words to say about things. I'm a talker. I like to talk and talk for hours. Um, I love a good conversation. But after I had experienced some of these processes, I was literally speechless, like absolutely speechless. And as an instructor, you need to be talking. But there were many moments where I was like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I actually don't have anything to say because the experience has spoken for itself. And as a group, often we would experience that. I'd say, does anyone want to share anything? And people are like, no, I don't even want to speak. I want to just stay in the flow of this experience. And so it's a very, very experiential workshop. And the concept is the premise is that there are multiple realities existing, multiple infinite potential realities existing at the same time, where there is a future version of us living out a reality that we want to experience. And miracles can be defined as something beyond the ordinary, something that felt extraordinary that happened, something we may not have been expecting. There's that saying of you either think of everything as miraculous or not. And one of the things that I felt after I first took this workshop is not only are we able to access the big things, but I suddenly had lenses that there were miracles hidden in plain sight everywhere. And that the very things that I thought I had to reach for were literally right in front of me and I didn't see them. They were there all along. It was like suddenly I had different lenses of the world. I'll give you some examples as we go along. But going back to future us, so if there's multiple realities, multiple possibilities existing, and this is a teaching that's in many mystical traditions, it's not a new concept, and that's why this workshop's exciting, because suddenly we've got these ancient philosophies, multiple realities existing, and we've got techniques to access that. And that's exciting. Previously, there's a viewpoint that we bring the past into the future. There's lots written about that. There's lots talked about that the imprints of our past are what we're experiencing today in different ways. Our personality gets shaped often by the past. And this flips that on its head. Because instead of saying the past is generating me now, what we are tapping into is actually the future has the ability to create. Future you has the ability to connect to you now and wants to help you to experience that, because there's a future of all of us that is experiencing multiple different possibilities. And there's so much to this. Honestly, this is like a 10-hour conversation, literally a minimum, but I will try to be short. If we say it's widely known in manifesting or in law of attraction, it's widely known. People say there's whole books written about this. One of them's Feeling is the Secret. Some of the oldest books about manifesting, some of the most amazing writers, books written 100 years ago. Books written about physical healing, miraculous healing, you name it. The oldest teachers that managed to get published about metaphysics all say the same thing. We read all of their books, they all say the same thing. It's in the feeling. It's in the feeling. Visualize, get the feeling, and that's true. But, and there's a but, when somebody feels very far away from that feeling, it's not easy to access. When somebody's really struggling, telling them to feel themselves well when they don't feel well, or feel yourself into an amazing state of joy when you feel really, really down. and you feel really low. What that can feel like is immense effort. It can feel like stressful, actually. It can have the reverse effect because suddenly you feel like, in Richard's words, that's just called lying to yourself. It's like saying, I went many years ago, I used to go on some of the Tony Robbins workshops, seminars, and he used to say, if you go like this and you say there are no weeds, there are no weeds, and then you go like that and you're in a garden of weeds, you're there. It's just something that takes a lot of practice and a lot of effort to try and get yourself to believe something that you visually see in front of you is not true for you right now. And so, is there another way? Is there another way to access that feeling? Well, if multiple possibilities are existing in the future, and if there is a future me that feels radiantly healthy, for example, what if I could have a connection with a me that's already in existence? I do not need to conjure that reality up because it is already in existence. I do not need to try and magic it into being. I don't need to try and think, how would it feel? What would it feel like if? I don't need to do that because there is a version in the field, in consciousness. There is a future me that is already living out that reality, actually. So suddenly, I don't need to do a thing, which is, for my personality type, always ideal. You don't need to do a thing. You can just kick back and enjoy the ride. Make the connection. And there's something really, really beautiful that in Richard's book, Hacking the Law of Attraction, sometimes there's one line in a book that your mind grabs onto, and my mind literally ran with this and has never put it down. And it actually changed the whole thing. And I knew about this, but it was something in the way it was worded that I just loved it. He wrote, any reality where you are a more loving, happy, joyful version of yourself, where you are expressing yourself in your essence, is closer to source and is more real than anything else. Because the only thing that's truly real is source. Any suffering is the illusion. And so, what is more real is the version of us, the future version of us that is happier, that is more radiantly healthy, that feels more joy. It is more real because it's closer to source. It's closer to our, there's many ways to say it, your higher self, your divine soul, your spirit, whatever word you want to put to it, it is our essence, essentially. So any moment we're expressing our essence is the truth of our being. Anything else is an illusion. And so what that means is that Source has a vested interest in helping us to embody that, to connect us with that. So suddenly it's not me reaching out and saying, help me up. Suddenly it's the other way around. Future me is saying, here, take my hand, let me help you up. You see the difference? It's a whole different energy. There's no effort. There's no effort. This workshop is about no effort. Maybe that's why I love it so much. So, just to kind of crystallize it a little bit, there are multiple future possibilities, infinite, infinite. They are real. And any moment that we are experiencing our essence is more real than any moment we are not. And therefore, there is a divine support. There is a vested interest that Source has in helping us to be an expression of that. And we can connect to a future you. And here's where the quantum touch, we come back to quantum touch. So those of you that have taken level 1, you remember quantum touch is all about resonance and entrainment. That's essentially runs through every single workshop. How can we raise our level of resonance so that the other person comes up and meets us there? And then their own inner healer resonates and trains to that, and the body starts to heal itself. So in this situation, what we're doing is in training to future us. It's still an entrainment process because the future you that is already living out your dream reality has that frequency. And this is why it becomes quite wordless, because it's a frequency we don't yet know. That's what left me speechless. That was the part, because I felt things I had never, ever felt before. It was like crossing through a veil into another reality that I just didn't have words for, because all we can all experience is what we know. You know, we feel what we know. If I don't know it, how could I feel? How could I conjure the feeling up of something I don't know? Even when I try to visualize it, it's still got the imprint of my own paradigm now. But future me, when I connected with and we had the exchange, and we're going to do that soon, future me connected me with a frequency I'd never felt before. And that's what feels speechless, because it's something brand new, literally brand new. And I said, oh, it feels otherworldly. And one lady emailed me afterwards, after the workshop, and she said, it's like crossing through the veil, literally, if you know what I mean by that. So it can be all, mystical and spiritual and wondrous, but it can also be quite practical. I use this in ways that I use it day to day. It's like having the ability to understand that there's more than one way this moment can go. Even if it's just like, talk about it on a micro moment level. If there's a stressful moment, I'll think to myself, okay, coming back to this level 5 material, there's another version of this. There's so many ways this could play. Just be open. And that's where it's a state of living it, rather than, you don't need to then sit down and start focusing and sending energy. You can, but it can be as quick as in the moment of just living in that realm where we're so open to those possibilities. So I feel like, if it's okay with everybody, we could just dive into an experience, and then after that talk about a couple of other people's experiences. But I feel we should just dive in. Is everyone up for that?
I think that's a
Okay.
great idea, Karina.
Okay.
I'd also like to share with the audience that I haven't taken yet this workshop, this level 5 workshop, and it's a topic that interests me greatly, because just with the basic quantum touch techniques, I've used them for manifestation in my life, and have done some extraordinary things just with the level 1 techniques. So I find this subject very, very exciting, to have more advanced techniques for manifestation. And Karina, just as you're talking, I mean, I feel like we're getting a masterclass already just in this webinar, which is wonderful. Thank you. And I feel a great weight lifted off my shoulders just as you're talking about the experience of these techniques. So I think and I'm sure that many people would agree who are watching. So I would love to have the experience. So go ahead, Karina. Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Renee. All right. So let's go back to our sweeping and breathing. I think we will just get ourselves in the flow first again. We don't need to concentrate. In fact, quite the opposite. I want you to just kick back, enjoy, soften into it, start breathing and sweeping if you know how to do that. And if you don't, just soften into your chair and relax into your breathing. Close your eyes if it helps. Soften all the muscles in your face. Let go of everything else. Allow yourself to fully arrive. Fully arrive in this moment. Arriving a little more. Following the body sweep. So connecting with the body, connecting with your body, your space, your essence, your energy field. No need for any concentration at all. I'm a big fan of play as you heal. So really allow your inner child to step forward and have fun. Completely different energy in the Zoom room right now when we brought that little fun magic wand out. Let's do that a little more. Full permission to play. Might be certain colors that you enjoy running energy with, or specific techniques. Welcome your inner child out even a little bit more. Children are the greatest teachers of energy work. That's amazing. There's nothing to get right. It's perfect. And as you are in the 4-4, just begin to create space to extend the breath a little bit more to a 6-6. So there's a little more time, a bit more space. Make the breath, design it how you like it. My 6-6 might be longer or shorter than yours. There's no, specific recipe. One count is 1 second, but the most important thing is that you are feeling good. If you feel good, it is good. That's my general rule. Design it how you like it. This moment is your canvas. Okay, we're getting into a really nice flow now. Playful. Any technique you like that you might have learned in any quantum touch workshop. Dropping into the moment with a sense of freedom. If it feels good, it is good. You can loosen up, you can stretch the body. That's lovely. And there's a real benefit to beginning from this place. And you can keep your eyes closed. You can just soften into it. I'm going to keep talking. You can keep on running energy together. And in a moment, what we're going to do is begin to consider, and you don't have to do it yet. I'm just going to explore something together with you. And what we're going to explore is, what is the general baseline that we wake up with in the morning, each of us, emotionally? So what that means is, on a general level, I mean, I'm not talking about, if you're going on holiday or vacation, obviously you get up differently to the general day to day. How do you wake up? What is the first emotion that you tend to feel when you open your eyes in the morning? Is it enthusiasm? Is it joy? Or is it, I want to go back to bed? Um, Numb, resentful that I need to wake up and move? And allow it to come to you and with a sense of authenticity. There's no right or wrong. It's just bringing awareness to what our emotional baseline is in the morning. And there might be one, two, or three words that come to mind. Just allow them. There's no rush. Allow yourself the space to connect with what is my emotional baseline on a day-to-day general level. How do I feel? And if it's not where you want it to be, it's fine. At this point, all we're doing is becoming aware. That's it. No judgment. You can keep running the 6-6 breath, nice and open, very fluid. You might even want to write down these words or just keep them kind of hovering in your awareness. And hopefully everybody's got a couple of words that describe that. And what we're going to do now is consider what would our miracle future you wake up with? What feeling? You know, if you've ever seen a toddler get out of bed, they get up and I remember my son, it would amaze me. He would get out of bed, age 18 months, with the same level of enthusiasm every day and run to the same toy corner every day with such wonder and excitement. And I would say, I don't understand. He's seen the same corner every single day, and every day, every day he gets up with that, like, what does he think he's going to find there that's new? There's nothing new. But he would still run over and pick everything up and just play with it in ways I wouldn't have even thought about playing with it. You know, a bottle can be thrown like a ball. And so, what are the words that we wish we could wake up with? What feelings? And it's really helpful to explore this in the breath, in the 6-6, so that the words come to you. You don't need to reach so much for them mentally. What are the words coming to you? Your miracle future. Do you want to wake up in love with life, inspired, grounded? You know, sometimes you just want to feel grounded. Radiantly healthy, in love with life or with a being. Could be anything. It's your future. What would you like to wake up feeling? And now that you've got that feeling in your kind of awareness, is there any event or change that you can think of now in any area of your life that would give you that feeling on a regular basis? For example, maybe you want to feel grounded. What would it take for you to feel that? Would it be that you would wake up in the morning and go walk in nature? Maybe somebody's future you wants to feel radiantly healthy. Is there something that would give you that feeling? Would it be a morning routine that was based around quantum touch, meditation, healing, or would it be going for a run? It's going to be different for everybody, or a walk. There is a future you that's already living out that reality. Feel the change in the energy in the room. There is a future you that is already in that place. And so what I'm going to ask you to do now is, with as much presence as you have with the breath, and I truly recommend you let go into this amazing experience. We're all on a call together. So close your eyes, lean back on your chair, let it all go. This is an opportunity, I promise you. Take this opportunity, be present with it. I can see how many of you are, and it's amazing. This is a miraculous space. So let's be in it fully together. So this future you that wakes up every day in that space, in that state of joy or love or whatever it might be, radiant health, connect. So that the sentence is, I feel like joy. I feel like I am in radiant health. Finish the sentence. I feel like. It's a feeling. This is amazing. You're all on point. Stay with it. You're doing amazing. And this you that feels like joy, love, health, freedom, lightness, creativity, inspired, whatever it might be, bring that you into your field, into your energy field. The way that I do this is almost as if I was phoning a friend. You know, you dial a number and they pick up, the connection's there. That's just how I do it. You don't have to. But welcome that future you into the field and begin to send that future you love. And remember, you are not creating that future. That future already knows itself. That future is already rolling. It knows itself. We don't need to create it. There is so much relief in that. There's no effort whatsoever. None. You are simply observing that future you with love. As you stay in the 6-6 breath, you are witnessing that future you with love. And now what starts to happen is that future you is witnessing present day you with love. Is sending love to you. And now all there is to receive that love. And again, you don't need to conjure it up or strain in any way, quite the opposite. It's almost like receiving a healing. Well, it kind of is like that. Receive the love and then send your life right back. There's an exchange happening. Future you, I feel like joy. The future you that feels like joy when that version of you wakes up in the morning is existing, literally living out a reality. And you are sending love to that future you. And then you are having love sent right back to you. So it's a frequency. There's a frequency. Some people might be visual and use your senses to intensify the experience if you want to. Might be quite visually alive for you. Or it might be more of a kinesthetic experience. For me, it's very kinesthetic. I can feel the frequency. And then you send love back. Sometimes when I look at the future me, I'm almost looking with admiration. I'm like, check you out. Wow. You know, go you. I love that. I didn't even know that was there or happening. And then you receive the love right back. And that love begins to start the process of changing us now. Because we are loving something into reality. There is no force. There is zero effort. You send love. You be present with future you. You can stay in the 6-6. It's a very relaxing, calming breath. If you need to bring in what you love most just to amplify a loving feeling, that's fine. This is your blank canvas. You can do whatever you like. Whatever you love, more like. And you start to feel that future shining its love towards you, beaming its love towards you. And all we do is drink it. That's it. Drink it in, bathe in it as if it was the sunshine. There's no convincing ourselves of anything. Because if you're feeling love from it, you've established the connection. All we need to do is make the call. Establish the connection. Love is the real reality. It's more real than anything else. That future you that you've connected to is more real than anything else that doesn't feel blissful, joyful, loving, all of it, because it's closer to source. All those realities are closer to the essence of who we are. So it's more real than anything else. And then you feel the love coming back to you, and you send love back to that future you. And it's just this very effortless wave of exchange. And some of you might even start to feel your physiology change as you start to entrain to this new frequency. And we're just going to stay in that. I'm going to be silent for a minute and you can just enjoy. And let go even more into it. You send, you receive. You experience the energy and you entrain to future you in the most loving, relaxing, zero effort exchange. And the feeling is very real because it is real. And then when you're ready, if you're ready, you can carry on if you want. And just very gently, in your own time, you can open your eyes if you want. You have a hands-on sweep if you wish, or just continue zenning out, whatever you want. And notice your field, notice your frequency. Notice if you've had an experience of a frequency that felt new, that felt from another world in a way, another realm. And feel free to write in the chat. Yvonne, the sweep is something we learn in level 1. It's the body sweep, and it's a body awareness exercise. Just notice. For me, this is like, I feel like my energy field gets re-educated. That's how it feels like to me. It's like a re-education of something brand new. And there's all these new pathways that are being formed as we entrain to future us. And so this process is something you can do yourself anytime, any day. I think it's very useful. I think it's really useful to become very aware of, how do I wake up in the morning? Because the way we wake up is what we carry into the day. We literally attract on that level. That's what we're broadcasting. The first feeling we have in the morning is pretty much what we propel out for the day. So working just on that is very powerful. If you take anything from this call, you can just repeat this and repeat it if you want to. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of what people have experienced with these techniques. And those of you that are still in the flow, you can stay, if you don't want to come out, that's fine. But I just want to give you a couple of examples of just how beautiful this can be, because manifesting as a word, people often think of it as big things, as I want to manifest an object, or I want to manifest, a new way of living, or something like that. And it can be anything. What does it mean to manifest? It's just simply to experience something new. And there was one really, really lovely lady on one of the workshops. And for the first couple of sessions, she would say, I'm not feeling what some of the other people are feeling. I wish people are having these like mind-blowing experiences, sharing that, they're speechless and they feel like they've gone through the veil and all this kind of stuff. And she's like, I want to feel what you're all feeling, and I haven't felt it, and I'm really frustrated, and I just want to feel anything that anyone else is feeling. And this is for the first half of the workshop. And then something in her towards the end of the workshop just let go. Her mind just let go, because she must have on some level thought, this is about to end. And so if I'm going to feel something, I better just let go, because the workshop's about to end. And it was really towards the end of the workshop, I could see that she was just like in bliss. And afterwards, when she shared, I said, well, do you want to share? Where did you go? What was future you? Tell us everything. And she said, well, I didn't share with you that I have spent, honestly, it must have been several years, she said, going through such a stressful time in the depths of anxiety and depression, and I've been on medications, and I have tried every type of therapy there is. She said, you name it, I have tried it. I've done talk therapy. I've tried, like, there's nothing you could say that I haven't tried. And I've never been able to see out of it, ever. I just couldn't see a way out of it. And this is the first time in my life that I have ever felt myself in that state. I have never, ever accessed myself happy, ever. I didn't know that was possible to feel because I've only been living, we are all only living within the parameters of, our own conscious mind and our own subconscious mind. We live it, even if we're all really open-minded, and we probably all are if we're on this call, but we're still only living within the pathways of our own kind of paradigm. And she said, I didn't know that was possible. I've never felt myself in that way. I didn't know I could exist like that. She was speechless. She was crying. She said, for me, that was a complete healing. I just felt like I healed myself. Like future me weirdly just showed me how it's done. I can't explain it, but I just got shown in a feeling way of how it's done. And I can't tell you how I got there. I just know I feel different and I feel a sense of peace. It wasn't like this, like off the scale, bouncing around joy. She just said, I feel a sense of peace that I've never experienced in my life. I feel safe for the first time. Nothing has ever, ever taken me there. And now I know it's possible. And I know how to get there. I know how to experience it. And I know how to experience it on my own with, I don't need a therapist to take me there kind of thing. That's really moved me, like moved me hugely to watch somebody get an experience of themselves in a way that felt such a level of peace. So what is becoming miraculous? It's experiencing a reality in a state that felt perhaps outside of our field, perhaps out of reach, perhaps something I know it's there, but I can't quite touch it. I can't quite reach it because I'm so stuck in one way of thinking. I know it's possible, but I just don't know how to get there. And so what we learn in this workshop is we go through a series of processes and techniques and ways to access future you that feel easy and joyful and connected. And you simply receive the frequency in the most loving way, rather than trying to conjure things up in a way that feels forced. And so I've seen people have that kind of experience. I have seen things like one lady who just felt completely locked in from like procrastination on clearing her house, for example. This had been something that had bothered her for years. She couldn't get herself to do it. She just couldn't. She had, wouldn't say to the level of hoarding, but there was a serious amount of stuff she needed to clear out, and there was nothing she could do to get herself to do it. She dreaded it. She judged herself for it. She put it off. It would depress her. It would really, really weigh her down. And so in one of the processes, she said, okay, I'm going to access future me that's done it. I don't need, this is a big part of the teaching. I don't need to work out how to do it, because part of the thing that stresses us out is when we think we need to come up with how to get there. And we think we've got to rack our brains to find a solution. That's so stressful. How am I going to do it? I'm just, how am I going to get there? And so when you access the you that's done it, suddenly you get insights. You see a next move in your life. You get given the frequency of it being done, and this is a transmission that's happening on an energy level. And the beauty is, like, who better to teach us than us? Who knows us better than our higher self knows our own self? I love that. For me, that's really powerful, really, really powerful. And so through the workshop, she came on the next course. I did some clearing and I actually enjoyed it. And I don't even know where that energy came from. The thoughts that came in were brand new. It wasn't an effort, it was the desire change. Suddenly, the desire to clear out stuff was there because we've changed our frequency. And you know when you're there because something goes from feeling like effort to no effort. That's when you know you've changed lane. And I've just noticed that I'm, as usual, over talking. So I'm going to stop. And hopefully, everybody gets an idea of the potential and the possibilities and the magnitude of this workshop. And I would, I recommend this is if this kind of thing excites you and interests you, it's just a must. It's one of those things that if you can, then without any hesitation, I'm going to say just do it. It's life changing. Um, but I'm gonna say, Renee, is there anything that you feel would
Wonderful.
be beneficial?
Yes, that was beautiful, Karina. I have to say, I really enjoyed that meditation. Future me feels very exciting, very free, very self-expressed. It was a really beautiful experience. And to talk just about the details, a little bit of the work of the workshop, and to have a kind of a little exciting announcement to make as well. For anybody who is interested in knowing more about the workshop, or if you already know that you want to take it, I'll put the workshop link in the chat. I've just put it in now. If you have taken it before and would like to take it again, then you can take it with the repeat discount code, which gives you 50% off. And that's the discount code that I just posted in the chat. And as I mentioned earlier in the workshop, I have not taken this workshop before, but I will be in Karina's upcoming class. So I'm very excited that future me kind of orchestrated this for myself to be present in Karina's class. I've taken her level 1 class before. She's a phenomenal instructor. And so the dates of the upcoming class are June 9th and 10th, 16th and 17th, from 1 to 4:30 p.m. and that's BST, so that's the British summer time. So if you are in the United States or Canada, the Eastern time is, I believe that's 9 till 12:30 in the morning. It's a Saturday and Sunday, 2 weekends in a row. So I love that this workshop is split up into 4 different classes, and I would love to take the class really with all of you, and I'm very excited about it. So I think, let me just make sure I communicate all the details. It's a virtual workshop. I think that goes without saying, and so we'll all be meeting again on Zoom for that workshop, June 9th, 10th, 16th, and 17th. And the link is in the chat. If you have any questions at all, you can connect with Karina or myself, and I can direct the questions to her. The contact for me is Renee at quantumtouch.com, and Karina is, correct me if I'm wrong, Karina at quantumtouch.com. They can contact you. No? Okay, go ahead. I'll type it in the chat.
Karina with a K
Yes.
at Karina Grant, grant.co.uk.
.co.uk. Okay.
Yeah, or you can go onto my website, which is karinagrant.co.uk. That might be easier.
Okay. Wonderful.
And I I just wanted to also add, somebody asked, do you need to take level 2, 3, and 4? You don't. If you've taken level 1, you can just jump in.
That's a great point. So the only prerequisite for the level 5 is level 1. So if you've taken level 1, you can definitely take level 5. Karina also mentioned to me earlier that she will be giving the level 5, this Becoming Miraculous workshop, again in November. So if the dates don't work for you this time around, then hopefully they will in November. And I don't know if Karina has maybe 5 extra minutes to answer a couple of questions, as we always have people who are eager to ask questions. Would that be okay, Karina?
Absolutely. This is
Okay.
literally my favorite topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I met with Karina, so if anybody has any questions, then please post them in the chat. Start typing them now. Martina said that she'd love to have the recording. So the recording, this event is recorded. It will be sent out automatically to everybody registered. So just keep an eye in your email and also check your spam just in case. You will likely receive it either by tonight or definitely tomorrow. So keep your eyes out for that so you can watch it again. And okay, Laura would like a copy as well. Wonderful. And so if you have any questions, then please post them in the chat. And Karina did, when we met before the webinar last week or the week before, Karina said that she said it's probably not fair to have a favorite Quantum Touch workshop, but this is unofficially her favorite workshop, is Becoming Miraculous. Okay, what is Karina's email again? So Karina, do you want to mention that again? I did post it in the chat, but if you can write it again, then that would be, or if you could mention it again, that would be great.
Yes. So if you go onto my website, which I just put in the chat, there's a link, I believe, that you can just click and it should go through to my email and contact.
Great. And Loving Rose says, I took Manifesting Miracles. Does this qualify me for 50% off? So, Manifesting Miracles was the previous name for Becoming Miraculous, and I believe it does. Karina, could you answer that?
Yes. Yeah, I took, yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
And great. Nadia asks, is reversing aging and becoming ageless enough of a prerequisite to join the Becoming Miraculous workshop? So, Nadia, if you, I believe that the prerequisite is just a level one. And usually you need the level one to take Becoming Ageless. But maybe Karina, could you chime in on that one?
That's a Jennifer question. From my perspective, you should be fine. I mean, you would benefit from a level one first, but I mean, it is a prerequisite. I mean, from my, it's up to Jennifer, really. I'd love you to join. I think everyone should just do it, but yeah.
Oh, and that's thank you for correcting me, Janine. I said 2 Saturdays and Sundays in a row, but it's not Saturday and Sunday. It's actually it's June 9th and 10th. So not 10th and 11th, Janine. June 9th and 10th, 16th and 17th. So these are Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and
No,
Wednesdays.
Tuesday is the 10th, I believe, and Wednesday is, sorry, I'm in November. You're
It,
right.
June
Totally,
9th
please
is
ignore me.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
June 10th is a Wednesday. So
Yeah.
it's Tuesday and Wednesday, the 9th and 10th. And
Yeah.
then Tuesday and Wednesday, the 16th and 17th. So my apologies for saying Saturday and Sunday. So yes, the dates are the 9th and 10th, the 16th and 17th. And I will post the workshop link again, just so you can people can be taken right to the registration page. And Laura asks, how do we determine who we do level one with? Does Karina teach that as well online prior to this manifesting level five? Great question.
I actually tomorrow am due to put up another level one workshop on my website. Um, because I don't have one scheduled, but I'm going to put one up tomorrow. So you could either take that with me or you could find another instructor that suits your schedule.
And you can find all the level one workshops that are taking place between now and then and beyond on the Quantum Touch website, which is quantumtouch.com. So I've taken the level one with Karina. It is phenomenal. And if that doesn't work for you to take level one with Karina before the Becoming Miraculous, then you can check the schedule on the Quantum Touch website. And great, let me just check to see if I missed any questions. Okay, Joan says that she can't manipulate her breath because of Kundalini issues. which seems a large part of these techniques. So, Karina, do you want to chime in on that?
Yep. First, I want to say hi to Joan and send her lots of love, who is a very dear person. And just to say, if you were felt comfortable in the 6-6, if that felt accessible to you, then you can absolutely use any of the techniques. Um, the breath is the foundation of quantum touch, but it is a breath that is very gentle. It is rhythmic, it is calming, and you can use the breathing and facilitate your own breathing in a way that fits your system. So you work within your level of comfortability always.
Excellent. Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Joan. Uh, we have a question. Is there a way to connect with other quantum touch practitioners, some sort of community slash forum? So, if you are a practitioner, there's a dedicated Facebook group on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, for practitioners. If you're just looking to see what practitioners are out there and connect with them, you can find them on the Quantum Touch website at www.quantumtouch.com. And you just, from the homepage, you just go to the practitioners tab, and then you can scroll through. Every practitioner has a profile, and all of the practitioners listed on the site are the certified practitioners, so the practitioners that are officially Quantum Touch practitioners. And we have another question, a question from Yvonne. Yvonne asks, is the level 1 different than the original workshop on the main website, the original online workshop? So, Karina, do you want to take that question?
Sure. I mean, it's definitely evolved. The material has evolved and expanded. The original level 1 with Richard on the main website, the core teachings are the same. The core teachings are the same, but the experiences to experience the techniques have evolved. There are more. It's a fuller experience of the same principles. So the other thing is that when you're in a live workshop setting, whether it's in person or online, you get the exchange, you get the breakout rooms or the in-person practice. So it's really a much fuller experience. But the core is the same.
Excellent. Thank you, Karina. I'd also mention that the original workshop online does not qualify as a prerequisite for any of the more advanced workshops. So to take any of the levels 2 through 7, you need that live level 1 workshop, which can be taken either in person or online. And somebody asks, are you still doing in-person workshops as well, Karina?
I've been doing them once a year, but I haven't scheduled one yet in person, but I want to. I do want to, but mostly online.
Mm-hmm. Great. And I see that Barbara mentions that the healing circles on the website are for anyone who is taking a QT course. So that's a great point. If anybody would like to, who has taken a level 1, would like to practice, definitely check out the healing circles that are listed on the Quantum Touch website. Rebecca says this was a beautiful experience, wonderful. I think that's it for our questions. So on that note, I'd just like to take a moment to thank Karina so much for her presence today, for her teaching, for her mastery, for this beautiful experience that she led us through. And I encourage everyone to look into the Quantum Touch workshops, to look into the Becoming Miraculous workshop, to join me as a student in June in Karina's Becoming Miraculous workshop. I'm beyond excited for it, and I would love to see all of you there. I don't know if Karina could take 100 people in the class, but I think it would be a beautiful experience to do together, especially having connected in this webinar and then to move into the workshop together. So thank you so much, Karina, and thank you to everyone for your presence today, for really diving deep into this work, for your focus, for your attention, for allowing yourselves to fully integrate into the experience. It's so wonderful to watch you on the gallery screen. People really let themselves go into the meditation. So thank you for that. Karina, do you have any final words that you want to say before we hop off?
I want to say thank you for bringing your open heart, and I can feel just feel all the, the love and the hugs kind of bouncing through the screen, and it's really wonderful. So I deeply appreciate that. It makes such a difference. Can feel the connection. I can, with the smiling faces, that especially the ones I know. But on a becoming miraculous level, I think the thing that I really enjoy about this is everything starts to feel way more possible. There starts to feel like there's a way, there's a way that is beyond my mind. And you just start to interact on a daily basis with life in a way that's open. And after a while, you just connect to that future with gentle intention, and already it starts to take form. Things start to happen more gracefully and more quickly, and that settles within, on quite a soulful level. So yeah, it's a workshop that feels very, very spiritual to me. It's beyond healing,
Wonderful.
if that's such a thing. Anyway, um, but yeah, I would love anybody to join, and together we can see what we experience.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Karina. I see that Joan writes, Karina's presence is a healing force in itself. And I say absolutely amen to that. Thank you again, Karina. Thank you, everyone. On that note, have a wonderful rest of your day. Sending so much love, light, and life force energy to you all. And I will see you either at the next webinar or hopefully in the Becoming Miraculous workshop with Karina. Thank you so much, everyone. Signing off. Thank you. Bye-bye.